Before the video begin, I want to remind you that I'm not a native English speaker, I'm Italian, so excuse me if I have an accent or I mispronounce words. Now the video can begin. If you have opened this video, you will surely know Charlie the Stick. He has been appearing everywhere lately. Looking closely at the stick, we immediately notice that it has an aura surrounding it. The graphic style, especially, reminds us of that magical time of the iPhone 4 and 5 App Store, full of exclusive and super advanced apps, but almost always paid for. In fact, Charlie the Stick came out in June 2013 as an iPhone exclusive. I think the app has gone viral lately, not only because of its mysterious and gore nature, but also because it reminds us of something we all experienced in our childhood. That is, all the other torture apps made in the same way, with the same mysterious and gore nature, released in those years that are stuck in our memory, but which we had forgotten anyway. So get ready, because we are about to see and explore all of them. Almost.
I guess that I'm confused again.
10 years ago, phone apps were particular, especially more relevant. Maybe it's because I was a kid and in school it was mainly about phone games. And maybe it's the same now, but it's simply me growing up. Anyway, we all spent hours scrolling throughout the pages of the Play Store or App Store, hoping to find an alternative to Action Movie FX. And we would find weird apps like Charlie the Stick. It was created by a company called DynamicDust. The content of the game has been described by some people as quite gory and disturbing. It's essentially an app where we have to torture a humanoid stick to score points and unlock other things. But the animations especially are done in a semi-photorealistic 3D that disturbed a lot of people. There are many scenes that I'm forced to censor, and there was even a gambling mode to earn more meatballs. Meatballs that are the points of the game. Essentially, you tortured the stick until you unlocked more and more new tortured animations, and you can see how the whole style of the game screen, even the boxes in the menu and the fonts of the lettering make us think of an iPhone 3G. All iPhone apps of that time had this particular style. It was categorized as lost media because in 2015 the game disappeared from the store along with the DynamicDust company. There were only screenshots left and a lot of people were starting to remember this game, and honestly I remembered seeing it somewhere too. Then gameplay videos went viral on TikTok and people finding the game on their old phones, but they were almost always fake or fan-made games that recreated the original game. Thanks to Reddit, people were able to get this to one of the developers of the game, who responded on Reddit saying what was the process of creating the app. Nothing that particular. He also added that he will try to republish the app on the App Store via a developer account, and after some time, here it is. The original app again online and available to download. But again, the game is sadly taken down now, and it will soon be back up, however, with a lot of fixes. So the case is finally solved. But this is just the beginning, or the tip of the iceberg, because back then it was full of these torture apps. Let's call them something like this. Surely in our memories you have one of these apps, and I'm sure that in your memories you have one of these apps that you can no longer find. They're almost all lost now. Do you remember this face? Me too. Beat the Boss 1. I remember playing it in 2012 on an iPhone 3. Seeing these images again made me jump out of my chair. I had totally forgotten about this game, which is apparently now lost. Sure, you can download an APK, but it's not the first game, apparently. However, doing further research, we realized a problem right away. The name. The APK of the game is called Beat the Boss, but when we download it, it changes name to Kick the Boss. And even searching old videos on YouTube, in some the name is Kick the Boss and in other videos it is Beat the Boss. But why? Searching online you can't find much information about this app, but apparently two versions came out in 2012. One called Beat the Boss HD, available only on iPhone and iPad, and this is the lost version, and another one called Kick the Boss for iPhone and Android. Then we can see that due to the success of the first game, they subsequently made many more chapters. You can see them. On YouTube you can still find one of the first trailer, and the developers of the game is Hive Corporation, which still develops mobile games today. And the game was simple. Joe is your boss who constantly insults you. Then exactly like Charlie the Steak, we can torture him with weapons that we unlock by accumulating points. There were more than 80 weapons and 7 unlockable characters, 4 male bosses and 1 new female boss, special interactive background for each bosses, and also 2 Android exclusive bosses. It's strange to think that this was one of the most downloaded game at the time, because its main goal was to let you vent your anger. Still, it was very satisfying to play, but there's still a lot more to come. Pony Torture. Okay, so this was released back in 2016 and is exactly what it sounds like. You play as Apple Bloom, one of the main 6 little sisters, if you know them, who kidnaps another pony that you can customize, and from there you can talk to, torture, heal, and or let them go. There's even others out there, including one where you adopt a baby pony and raise it, but you can choose to abuse and starve it. However, I didn't find this game. And for some obvious reason, I guess, has been deleted from all the stores. But now you can download the APK for this game, however, and still play it. Also, the developer was probably AA Games. We can see the other games they developed around the same years, including Pig's Revenge. And this is the gameplay of Torture Pony.
What is this? That was unexpected! No! Oh no, nigga! No! Okay, no. This is so gruesome. Oh my god.
Two years ago, on the Reddit thread Tip of My Tongue, an user asked about a torture game from the 2000s that he played on his grandpa's computer as a kid. Described the game as very simple in graphics, where you use weapons to torture a bunny character. I tried to search up, but I didn't find any specific PC app or Flash game, but instead I found Torture Bunny. Torture Bunny is a solid, if somewhat disturbing game. The game was developed for iOS in 2011 by the publisher Click Gamer. It was purchasable for 99 cents, but now you can no longer find it on the App Store. The reason may be pretty obvious. You have to torture an helpless bunny doll. You can use 50 different weapons to do this, and when you open the cage, your goal is literally to torture the poor thing for as long as you can. You place some traps and weapons, and then you make him fall on them. The music annoyingly loops, and the scream of torment the bunny emits will make you downright embarrassed to play this game in public. The reviews are pretty positive about the gameplay, but there are a few complaints about the physics, described as unpredictable, and even the greatest trap setup can be ruined as the rabbit decides to fall in another direction. I think the game was popular for the variety it offered in mechanics and levels. The player can express his creativity in placing various objects in various positions. You may think it got removed for simulating animal cruelty, but I don't think it's like that. There is no blood, and the bot seems to be more like a crash test ragdoll. The game is obviously playful and cartoonish, probably removed for the bad physics and repeated animation. Also, it can be tedious to set up traps to obtaining the same results every time.
What made these games special, and maybe even a little bit creepy? The fact that they looked alive. Let me now explain. In my memory, there are two such games that I will never forget. One was a game for Nintendo DS, where we could torture Daffy Duck in many ways with the stylus and with mini-games. It was probably Looney Tunes Duck and Muck, and I'm not sure if it was exactly this game. Anyway, the other game that I will never forget has been totally lost. I tried for years to find it and couldn't find it. Unfortunately, as a kid, I would just play the games without knowing the title of the game. It was a flash game on the Italian version of games.com, which no longer exists, apparently. Occasionally, I would find the game by chance, when I was lucky, and this game had a man in the middle of an alley of a generic city like New York or Chicago. There were no points or power-up and no HUD or HUD either. You will drag the man with the mouse and throw him from every direction. I would spend hours torturing him until one time every 50 tries a different and unique animation would come out. And that was surreal. As a kid, it seemed like there were endless possibilities like real life. These tortured games, because of this mechanic, seems more real than other games. However, one or two times I had managed to, I don't know how, to unlock a second level, and this time the man was in a white space with transparent cubes, I think. I don't remember very well. If anyone can find it, I would be grateful, really. We saw that this phenomenon was not only there on phones in 2011, but also on the DS or as a flash game and everywhere else. You probably also used to play some that you have forgotten about. Let's look at some of them, like Kick the Body. It's a popular action game developed by Legendary Limited. The game was first released on November 30, 2017, so this is more recent, although I remember playing it much earlier. In this one, we torture a dummy called Buddy, and we can really do anything to him. Explosions, weapons, temperature. This was one of the last games that came out that had this aura of 2011 game. Then there is Whack Your Ex. Whack Your Ex is a point-and-click online game that allows players to vent their frustration by imagining getting revenge on an ex-partner. The game is known for its black humor and exaggerated animations. The goal is to use various objects to hit the ex in creative and often comical ways. Indeed, Whack Your Ex is a game that is part of a series of similar games, such as Whack Your Boss. You probably remember this. And also Whack the Thief. Whack the Thief. Some key features where the gameplay is very simple. Just click on objects on the screen to see how they are used against your partner. The animations are deliberately exaggerated and comical with absurd and often surreal situations. There are many different objects that can be used, each with its own unique animation. The graphic style is cartoony and colorful, which helps keep the tone light and fun. The game has no real end goal other than to explore all the possible animations and have fun in the process. It is a way to laugh at breakup situation in a light and unpretentious way. Office Zombie. You will probably recognize the man in the Office, non-zombified version, because it has been a popular meme lately. Office Zombie is a casual game developed by Fluic Entertainment in 2014. Known for its humor and simple but fun gameplay. The game consists of tormenting an office zombie using various objects found in a work environment. You can throw objects such as exploding bears, saw blades, hatchets, grenades, and more to see how the zombie reacts. The game includes a zombie destruction checklist that players can complete for daily rewards and challenges. The game is still updated even today. This world of applications belonging to the 3G era mostly had never really been explored, although I was sure I wasn't the only one who remembered about these strange torture games. I'm also not very good at talking about this in detail, so I hope someone will make us a 3 or 4 hour retrospective video as always. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Follow me on my socials if you like, and see you next time.